We are finally out on a sunny day doing some training. We have been at Louise. Yes. Look at that. We have been at the small dog park in Sausalito and played with some friends. And while we're playing with friends, we're working on trying to call the puppies out of groups at times when I think I can be successful. What does that mean? That means, Louise, that means that I wait for just small breaks in the action, not when they're completely involved in a play session. We work on recall, we work on hand targeting, just getting that puppy to learn to respond around new dogs. We've been working on responding around other dogs, but with their friends, and they get that. So this is all new. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna work on some recall stuff. Well, we've got some other puppies out here that are gonna be walking by, but we're gonna work on just dropping the leash, recall in a new area with new friends. So you can just keep filming and we'll walk past this guy.
Is that a puppy? Oh yeah. Can you say hi? Oh, what a cute little puppy. Who's this?
Louise.
Louise. Oh, Louise is adorable. I know.
Hey, good girl. Yes, thank you. Good girl. Nice.
She's so
Good
cute.
girl.
Yeah. All right.
Hi,
Say
Otto. I
goodbye.
can see your tag.
Yeah.
Louise. Yes.
You can play another time. Yes, I know. She's very pretty.
Louise. Yes. Good girl. So that's a perfect opportunity to visit with other dogs, practice name game, do some hand targeting, all on leash. And now I've got some off-leash dogs running and chasing balls. So anytime I'm out and about like this, it's a great opportunity to be practicing all of our skills. The reality is, we're not introducing a lot of new stuff at this point. We're trying to take all the basic foundation stuff that we've been working on and apply it to this world that we're in right now. So I know it's lots of sniffs and smells, so we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna drop the leash and we're gonna work a little bit just on some recall stuff while we're far enough away from the other dogs. I'll just drop that so that if I need to, I can step on it. Louise, come. Yes, it's a good girl. You're such a good baby. Come on. Good girl. Louise, come. Right here. Yes. Good girl. Very good. Very good. All right, so you can see the level of distraction here is pretty crazy. We got other dogs chasing balls. We got there's probably like 400 pounds of goose poop in this field. Lucy! Yes! Good girl. So I'm just gonna work on name game a little bit. Come on, up. Goose! Goose says that's a no-no. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Up. Very nice. So when she does that plop down thing and doesn't want to move, which she was doing before because she saw a lot of distractions and the other dog I think was making her a little bit nervous. I want to try to get as close to her as possible and do a little bit of attention walking. Again, attention walking is just me walking backwards, and she's walking towards me. Up, 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 up. Lucy, yes. Good. And anytime she gives me eye contact, she's getting rewarded. Lucy. Okay. I'm not gonna reward for that. But stinky fresh cut grass is it's pretty distracting. Not sure, there's a few things that are more distracting, but that's pretty good. Plus she's obsessed with everything else that's going on here right now. Hi, good girl. Yes. Come here. Good girl. I always want to make sure when I treat that I treat slightly behind my leg so the dog doesn't get used to going in front and circling back towards me like that. So if you're treating, let me walk towards you. So if you're walking and you want to reward, make sure that the reward happens here, not here, so that the dog does that. All right? So it's very small difference, but think about treats coming down just slightly behind your leg. Lucy, sit. Good girl. Very nice. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to drop her leash. We'll see. This is super distracting for her out here, so I'm going to drop her leash. You can just stay right there so you're not out in the soaking wet. I'm going to keep our distance pretty small. Lucy, come! Wow. I'm going to add lots of backwards movement so she wants to follow me. Good girl. There's some people. There's some people. Come. I'm going to do some hand targeting while some humans walk by. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Yeah.
But you're helping.
Yeah. Okay, so just want to talk about what happened right there. So I tossed a treat. She was kind of looking for it. I don't think she actually ever found it. I said her name, and she was very distracted by stuff that was on the ground. So I did not say come until I felt like she was really engaged with me. Be careful when you're using your recall word. Remember, we're recall word referring to the word come. I want to make sure whenever I use that word that I am almost guaranteed success. So if I do name game and I'm getting a lackluster response, I'm going to be careful about following up with come. I made sure that I did it when she gave me a little better attention. Lucy! Yes! Come! Now I've got a leash attached, just dragging behind her. It feels weird, it's wet. So I think she's giving me a little bit less speed and enthusiasm than she might otherwise. But she's doing pretty well considering all of the distractions I've had. Yeah. Good job. All right, let's go. And let's talk about Indy. Sam, you're not a cow. You don't eat grass. Let's talk about Indy at the dog park. So Indy, we brought her into the small dog area at first, and it was great because it was mostly just us and maybe one other dog. But then eventually more dogs came, and littler dogs that were running at the speed of light. And it became, can you sit for me, please? Sit. What is happening? Thank you. It basically became completely too much. Too much in terms of she got to a place where her adrenaline levels, her brain was just exploding, is basically the way to think about it. And there's a place where a puppy transitions, or any dog transitions from what we call a thinking mind into a not thinking mind. Thinking mind is where they're able to focus, they have enthusiasm, but they are not past the point of no return. Think about a toddler that's too tired, something like that, where it's just like there's no reasoning that's taking place. So that kind of happened with her. We ended up putting her on leash. And then I did a little test where I put her in with the big dogs, and that did not go particularly well. That was overwhelming in the opposite way, where it was just too, it was too scary. It was just too much. There was another Dobie in there who desperately wanted to play with her, but it was overwhelming. So it was kind of a mixed bag for her at the little park area. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and come on. Remember, we're gonna treat slightly behind. Hey, Indy, slightly behind our leg when we're walking. Try to keep her from crossing behind you. You want to keep her on one side. Let's go. Indy. Yes. Good job. Indy, come. Up, 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 up. All right, so that was a trainer error on my part where I said her name and didn't really wait to see what the response was going to be, and I added the word come right away, and she really didn't respond appropriately. So that's my bad. That's on me. I kind of tested the waters by saying her name, and I didn't get that really engaged response. I kind of thought if I started booking away from her backwards, she would come in. She did not come in, but it wasn't really what I would call a successful recall. So I'm gonna try this again. I'm just trying to gain a little space. You call her towards you a little bit, see if she'll. Indy! 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 Pop, pop, pop! Indy! Hey!
Indy. Indy, come here. Hi. Hello.
Indy! Come! There's a nice recall. Very good. Very good. Good job. We'll walk up here. Up, up, up. Indy, touch. 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 Girl. Good girl. Go ahead and have her
Indy.
follow these pictures.
Good girl. Hello, Indy.
Indy, come. The lesson for today, the takeaway from today is work. First of all, eat everything you can find on the ground. Ma'am. What? Maybe pick a better training location. That could be part of it. Let's go. We'll keep walking. So, pick your training locations appropriately, and work with the puppy that you have in the environment that you are currently in. What does that mean? That means don't assume because your puppy can do X, Y, Z in the yard, at your house, or or that they're great at a recall inside, that it's going to translate to any kind of new environment. So we're going to work at a level that's appropriate, maybe shorter distances. Remember, when you go out and about, these are the times when you bring the yummiest treats. Excuse me. You bring the yummiest treats possible, and work in small increments, just like everything else. So have